Welcome back to my channel, and for today I will be talking about fragrances that have similar scent, or maybe not totally similar, but they do have similar vibe. So lately I stopped buying perfumes and I'm sampling instead. I'm buying samples, and I'm glad that I did, because there are several fragrances in my samples that have quite similar in the perfumes that I already have, and I don't like it when I have fragrances in my collections that have similar scent. So I don't know if it's just me, but that's how they smells like on my nose. Okay, so first I have here Yellow Diamond EDT by Versace. So this one, the moment I smell this, I already like it. I actually like it among all the Versace's diamond fragrances. And then I just noticed that this is kind of familiar. And then I realized that it is the Daisy by Marc Jacobs, which I already have as a mini. So perhaps the grapefruit in it is what makes them quite similar. So the grapefruit scent in these fragrances are quite common. I feel like they've been used, or you could smell them in a lot of fragrances that have grapefruit in it. Not just this one, but even Chanel Chance Otondra also has grapefruit in it with a similar scent with this one. That's why I'm getting the same vibe with all these fragrances. So I think the only difference is Daisy's Marc Jacob is more of have a green side. I'm getting more of like a green scent, a grassy scent in this one, while this is more citrusy to me. Aside from the grapefruit, there's like a citrus scent in it. So I'm glad I sampled, because I was about to plan on buying this one, but then I realized I had that already, Marc Jacobs Daisy, in my collection. But maybe when I finish this mini perfume, then that's the time I might buy this one. Also, I still have Chanel Chance. So next is Girl of Now Forever by Elie Saab, which I absolutely love. This one has such a gorgeous, creamy, tart citrus scent. I really like it from the moment I smell it. Plus the almond in it. I love almost all fragrances with almond notes, and this is one of those. So this fragrance, at first I feel like it's quite familiar, but I cannot tell which perfume. I didn't thought that I actually have that fragrance in my collection, so I smell it. Each time I wear this one, I feel like it's getting more familiar, so I smell like almost all my fragrances. And then I found out it's Jessica Simpson's Fancy. So I don't know if you agree with me or not, if you have smelled both fragrances, but they both have kind of similar vibe, especially on the opening. They both smell delicious citrus tart, and they both have that almond scent. I cannot almost tell the difference except when I try them on side by side. So here is the Elie Saab one, and here is the Fancy, and I smell it each of my wrists, especially when it starts to dry down after a few minutes or an hour. That's the time you can tell the difference. This one, the Elie Saab one, has that quite, there's something in the notes. There's one of the notes that is quite dominant, except for the almond and those gourmand scent. There is something else. I think it could be the cashmere in there. I think that is something that is not in Jessica Simpson's Fancy. And this one also lasts really long. I can say this one is more expensive smelling, where it's really more expensive than Fancy. It remains potent after a few hours, while this one it becomes a little bit lighter. There's a bit like a bland, sweet sense in the dry down. When it comes when it's almost fading. I'm not saying it has a bad dry down. The dry down of this is still really good, but only when it's about to fade. It becomes more like a fresh, sweet scent, while this one still remains sweet. To me, between the two, I would like to get this one. It has really such a delicious, very creamy, tart almond scent. I really like it. It's addicting. But if you are on a budget, I feel like this Fancy by Jessica Simpson will do. It's very gorgeous smelling. Some of you might even love this one than Elie Saab's Girl of Now Forever. So next is Mongolian EDP. So this one, I have been hearing about this perfume. A lot of people likes this one, and almost everyone already have this perfume, but I'm hesitant to get this one because I've heard it is very similar to Guess Seductive Noir, which I already have. But then I got curious and I got the sample, and yes, it really did. They really are similar. I would say they do have a very similar vibe. They both are very sweet, both warm, both have such nice vanilla scent. Usually it's the opening that they are really quite similar. I could not almost tell the difference, but after a few hours, few minutes, that's the time you can tell the difference. I would say Mongolian is sweeter. It's more sweet. It's deeper. I feel like the longer it stays on my skin, the sweeter it gets. The more I get the vanilla in it. I actually really like it. Well, the Guess Seductive Noir, it has some like a smokiness in it. Perhaps it's the velvet in it, which is not in Mongolian. I'm not sure if velvet is supposed to smell like smoky or something, but there's something different in those two. I feel like Mongolian is sweeter than Guess. So again, if you like something sweet, more sweet, then you might want to get the Mongolian. But Guess Seductive Noir is more affordable price-wise, and there's no big difference between the two. So next is Tom Ford's Noir Perfume and my Starlight Shimmer by Michael Kors. So this one to me are both quite similar as well. They're both smoky. They both have nice vanilla dry down. They're both quite earthy. They're both like a bit dark, has a deep vibe in it. I can almost tell the difference as well. I think the Tom Ford is more complex for me compared to this one. This is earthy, smoky. There's a bit like I'm getting a bit like an incense like smoke in there, even though there's no incense in the notes. But this one smoky, but I don't get much of like an incense kind of smoky. This one is a pretty simple notes: rose, amber, and saffron. Well, this one there's a lot. This one I get all the notes at once right away. Well, this one there's a lot going on this perfume. There's more to it. So all in all, I can tell they're quite similar. They're both have dark, rosy, smoky, very sweet scent. But if you are really going to pay attention and smell, put them side by side again, you can also tell the difference. As I have mentioned, this is more complex compared to Starlight Shimmer. So if you want something more unique, more complex type of scent, then you might want to go for the Tom Ford one. But I'm in love both of the dry down. These two has one of the best vanilla scent. So next, I did not expect. This is from the brand BB. So this perfume is called Kiss Me by BB. So I got this one from a mini set. So at first I didn't care about it. It looks very cute, the mini bottle, and the full bottle of this one as well is very cute, girly. So I thought it's gonna be more of like a young smelling perfume. But when I tried this one, it's actually very sophisticated. I didn't expect the scent, and it's quite familiar as well. And it is really similar with La Vie Belle. With the opening, I could get the same scent of the blackcurrant, which is in La Vie Belle, up to the dry down, which is that sweet powdery scent, perhaps a tonka bean in there. They both have tonka bean in the dry down, and I think that's the only notes that are similar as far as I can remember. But all in all, they smell really quite the same. So they both have that scent of the currant in the opening, like a black currant, which gives it more of like a fresh, sweet smelling scent, and there's like the patchouli note or scent in the background as well, until it dries down, which becomes very powdery, sweet powdery scent. I cannot tell the difference as well. I think among all this, this is one of the perfumes that are really, really similar. So next is Dolce by Dolce & Gabbana. So I got a sample of this because I got curious. I really love the Garden by Dolce. The garden version of this one is really good. So I get a sample, and when I tried it, I'm not that impressed. I find it again quite familiar, and aside from that, I'm not that fan of the scent. And it is quite similar to Acqua di Gioia by Giorgio Armani. So I'm not sure if it's just me, but there's a bit of similarity. They're not totally similar or more similar than the others that I have mentioned, but there's a bit of like similar vibe. Although this one, surprisingly, I like the scent, but this one, the Dolce, I don't like it that much. I feel like the opening, they're quite similar, except that the Acqua di Gioia is more spicy and there's a bit of minty scent in it. Well, this one is just, it's like Acqua di Gioia without the mint, without the spiciness. And there is something in the scent as well. It's quite sharp. I cannot tell which notes gives that scent, but I didn't like it. It's quite strong. I don't find this a soft smelling fragrance. I find this one strong, fresh, strong floral scent. So that scent is quite of a headache inducing. There's also a little bit of like an apple smell in it. Aside from the Acqua di Gioia, it also kind of remind me of DKNY's Be Delicious. But I find Acqua di Gioia quite closer to Dolce. So I'm glad I sampled it first because I didn't like it. It's nothing like the Garden. Garden is totally different scent from this one, and I like that one better. But even though I didn't like the scent, I feel like this perfume is quite likable, crowd pleasing type of scent. I can see why a lot of people actually like the perfume. It's just that there's something the note or the scent in it is quite sharp that I didn't like. But all in all, I feel like it is quite a fragrance that is safe to blind buy, or something that someone would easily like. So next fragrances are both samples that I have, and these are Michael Kors Wanderlust and Estee Lauder's Beautiful Belle. So these two, I both love them when I sample them. I sample them both in separate time. I had this Beautiful Belle, I think, last year, and then Michael Kors just recently. So Wanderlust, I like it a lot. It has almond and milk, if I'm not mistaken, and yes, I got almond in it. I love almond in almost all fragrances, and again, I realize it's kind of familiar. And then it is Beautiful Belle. So I think the marzipan in the Beautiful Belle is what makes it quite similar to Wanderlust. They both have that almond scent. So aside from that milky almond scent, they both have that white floral scent as well. Beautiful Belle reminds me of a wedding. I feel like it's the best fragrance to wear during a wedding. It's also like remind me of like a white flower garden. So I'm not usually a fan of white floral scent, but this one is an exception. It's quite different. It's not those headache inducing, very strong white floral scent. I like how it's mixed with that milky almond scent. It makes it like a bit of like a gourmandish floral scent. So I noticed that a lot of fragrances these days kind of have that similar scent already. That's why I kind of stopped getting or blind buying fragrances, because I got disappointed when I smell like they're already kind of similar to some of my fragrances, because I want, when I buy a fragrance, it is going to be unique in my collection. So that's it for this video, and let me know in the comment if you have smelled some of these fragrances and if you are getting those similar vibe as well. Thank you all for watching, and see you again in the next video.